half of chat number 241, and we were just talking about mastering our minutes. So the extra credit portion, the second portion of tonight's chat, actually is helping me to master my minutes. So as we've been talking about, Casey is getting ready to have baby number 2. That's going to be grandbaby number 2 for John and I. And y'all know us. We try to cram too many. We try to cram 8 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound bag. And if you don't know what that means, then I don't know, I'll have to explain it to you later. But we try to cram in too much in every day. So the extra credit for this week is to help some people who have been asking me, but also to help myself to remember that it's okay to control my schedule sometimes, to do some schedule controlling. So what we're going to talk about for the second half tonight, and again, I've got 3 to 5 weeks planned of non-perishable topics so that I don't have to worry about anybody cleaning out the refrigerator or anything getting, gross and needing to be thrown away. We're still eating, don't worry, we will still eat food, but I just can't, usually when we do the chats, it makes enough food to last for a couple of days, and who knows? I mean, there may be a phone call waiting on me when we get done. I don't know. Okay, so the extra credit for this week is titled WW 5 Ways. Okay, so I've been getting a lot of questions lately from successful longtime WW members that are either having trouble getting back on track because this last 18 months has been crazy for everybody. So whether it was because of the pandemic, whether it was because of a schedule change, if it was work, if it was overworking, underworking, being alone, being with too many people, whatever, whatever the situation has been, a lot of us have gotten off track in this last 18 months. And I'm talking people who have been on track for years, okay? I had been at goal for, I think, 4 to 4.5 years before the pandemic hit. So it has messed a lot of us up. So the number one question, though, that I heard this week is, and actually I heard it a lot this week, and one of our local members in Gwen's physical group, people keep asking, which plan should I be on? So the plans are not new. This is not new. They've not changed anything so far this year. This is September. They've not changed anything. But I keep getting a lot of questions of, I don't know, I'm so messed up. I'm so messed up for the last 18 months. I don't know which plan to be on. I was on X, Y, or Z before, and I've tried to get back on that one, and it's just not working again. So, okay. Yeah, and Take says the struggle is real when our schedules are messed with. So true. Well, when it's messed with, when it's not planned, when we don't plan it. And this was usually our schedules get messed with for like a couple of days or a couple of weeks, not for 18 months. So a lot of us are having to rethink all of life. So I want to tell you that over the next few weeks, while we are still on Bow Watch 2021, so whether it's for a few days or for a few weeks, I'm going to help you realize that there are actually 5 WW plans. Okay, there are actually 5. So I know a lot of you are going, no, Kelly, there's 3. There are 3 WW plans. In my mind, there are 5, and I'm going to help you decide which one is right for you. So if you're confused or if you think I've lost my mind, hang on with me, because my mind is not gone yet. Okay, so it's not gone yet. If you're confused, let me explain what the 5 are. The first one is WW My Way Blue. So this is the plan that I think is most like freestyle. So if you were around when freestyle was around, it was a breath of fresh air for a lot of people because it was freestyle. I mean, you could do, I don't want to say anything, but it was very freeing for a lot of people, but it was also too free for some people, and we'll talk about that in the coming weeks. So WW My Way Blue, that's the plan that I think is the most like freestyle. It has a minimum of 24 points daily. So it has a minimum, and it's going to depend on your age, your weight, things like that as to how many points you get. But it's a minimum of 24 points every day, and there are over 200 0-point foods on that plan. The second plan is WW My Way Green. And green is the plan that I think it's identical to Smart Points Beyond the Scale. So Smart Points Beyond the Scale was when we first started, when they changed how the points were calculated. So I've been doing this long enough that I did fat and fiber, where we just calculated how much fat and how much fiber we had. I have not been doing this long enough to have had to do the mandatory tuna so many times a week and a limit on eggs and things like that. So I never had to do that, but we did the fat and fiber. I've done different versions of points. I've done points plus, just regular points, points plus, smart points, freestyle, blah, 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 all those. So smart points beyond the scale, I think, is identical to the green plan. And it has a minimum of 30 daily points, which sounds like a lot of points, but you only have about 100 0-point foods. So, we're going to talk about that in an upcoming, do you need more points but less 0-point foods? So we're going to talk about that in an upcoming chat. The third one is WW My Way Purple. And purple, I am confident, is a simpler version of Simply Filling. Simply Filling did not work for me, period. It didn't work for me at all. I love purple. So we're going to talk about purple in an upcoming chat, but purple, I feel like, is a simpler, it's a simpler, I think it's an easier to stay in control. Maybe we should say that version of Simply Filling. You get a minimum of 16 daily points. And again, the daily points are dependent upon your sex, age, weight. So you got some factors there, but it's a minimum of 16. So you're never going to get less than 16 to start with. And over 300 0-point foods, over 300 0-point foods. Okay. So for those of you that are thinking that's it, those are the only plans. Okay. The next two are not official WW plans. They're not official WW names. They are not officially licensed by WW. But Kelly says there are two more plans. So plan number 4 is I just call it intentional maintenance. So that was a WW topic. It has been a WW topic several times over the years. You can go back to previous chats, and if Jessica can find them when she types up the notes tomorrow, or if I find them for her, then we'll go ahead and post which chats those are. But I say number 4 is intentional maintenance. And intentional maintenance, again, that's not an official WW name, and it's not an official WW plan, but I say, just me, that it is another plan. And I think some of you all will agree with me. So whether you need to be on maintenance because you have reached a goal, or if you need to be on maintenance because life, intentional maintenance is a thing. And then number 5 is called, and we're going to talk about intentional maintenance. We're going to talk about number 4 and number 5. That's what we're going to spend the rest of tonight talking about. But number 5, I call it 2 on, 1 off. And this is definitely not a WW sanctioned plan or name or anything else, but I call it 2 on, 1 off. And it's my backup plan for times when you need just to hold on. You just have to hold on for dear life, or you're in a situation where there's not a lot I can control, so I'm just gonna try to control what I can. So we're going to talk about numbers 4 and 5 tonight, because that's where I'm at this next couple of weeks while we're on Bow Watch 2021. And we're going to pick up the other 3 over the next, hopefully, 3 weeks as Bo cooperates. So again, the only time I would miss a Sunday, and Take says she remembers that chat. She calls it plateau. Well, to be an intentional plateau. So we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But if Bo cooperates and does not come on a Sunday, we'll likely have chats the next 3 weeks. But anyway, we'll just keep this in mind. Okay, so numbers 4 and 5 are what we're going to talk about tonight. And then we will try to talk about 1, 2, and 3 over the next 3 weeks. So number 4 is the one that I call intentional maintenance. So intentional maintenance might be that you've reached a goal. So when you have reached your goal, so when you've been doing WW for whatever length of time, and there is no right or wrong length of time to take to get to goal. It took me 20 years to get to goal. Okay. I could have been at goal earlier than that. I wasn't mentally, emotionally, whatever, prepared, to get there. So it took me 20 years to finally get myself in gear, get my rear in gear, and get to goal. But when you get there, then WW is going to suggest a number of points over your daily, and your leader will go over that if you go to a physical workshop. If you don't, if you're digital only, there's going to be instructions on how to do that. So when you get to your goal weight, you're going to go on what is called intentional maintenance, and that means you are trying to maintain your weight. That does not mean that if your goal weight is 152, that you have to be at 152 every week. That's not what that means. Intentional maintenance means that you understand you are intentionally maintaining this weight, and you might go 153, 149, 150, 151, 150, it's going to go like this. So intentional maintenance is like this. It's not a straight line, but it's a much smaller variation than what we've been doing. So over the 20 years before I got to goal, I was doing this. Wee, wow, woo. My roller coaster was going like that. So, I would lose a lot of weight real fast, and then I'd peter out, and then I'd come up, that click, 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 Yeah, so I did that a lot over the 20 years. So intentional maintenance, you're going to go like this, kind of flatten that curve. So a couple of things that you can do to go on intentional maintenance. One is WW can help you with the number of points. If you need to be on intentional maintenance for other reasons though, like me, I don't want to let this short-term, potentially away from home, whatever situation, I don't want to let this blow the 11 something pounds that I've lost recently since we've been back to in person. So I'm going to put myself in, whenever the day comes. I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to get excited and, jump the gun. But whenever this day is, I'm going to put myself on temporary intentional maintenance. So it's not intentional maintenance because, and Kathy's at the top of that. She's at the top of the hill of the roller coaster. So Kathy, we're going to get to where we can go on down the other side. But, so for now, I'm going to put myself on intentional maintenance. And if you don't know this, if you don't know how to do this, take your app, and I won't be able to see what y'all are saying for just a second, but go to your WW app, and you can go on your phone, you can go on a tablet, or you can go on the computer. And when you get there, touch the icon that is you. It's whatever picture you put on there. And when you get to that icon, there should be a gear, and I don't know what it looks like on an Android, but when you touch that gear, all of these settings should come up. And there are settings of food settings, water settings, activity and sleep, weight settings, connect settings, connect settings, notification settings, Siri shortcuts, and Touch ID. That's what's on mine because it's an iPhone. So if you go to the top one that says food settings, and if an Android is different, I apologize if that's not the top one, but that's where you did all of your original point setup. So you told it what food plan you wanted to be on, and it told you what your daily target and your weekly target was, again, based on your sex, age, and current weight. You can tell it whether you want rollovers on or off, and rollovers means like if you have points left at the day, if you want them to roll over to the next day, or if you want that off. And if you're going to swap out activity points, you can either turn that on or off. And then it wants to know if you're breastfeeding. I'm 54, I'm not breastfeeding. Okay. But if you've never noticed this before, and you probably did this the first time, but I don't know if you did it ever since then, but if you want to put yourself on intentional maintenance, you're going to go to where it says current focus. So right now mine says weight loss and healthy habits. Okay, current focus, you have two choices. Weight loss and healthy habits, and healthy habits. Let me breathe for a second. I feel like I've been talking really fast. Okay, if you choose weight loss and healthy habits, then it's going to calculate your points to try and help you to lose weight while encouraging some healthy habits. So I'm on purple right now. So while I have it on weight loss and healthy habits on purple, it has automatically calculated my daily target at 16 and my weekly target at 35. So let me tell you what it does for the other colors. If you are on green, it is going to give you 30 daily, is going to be your daily target, and 35 for your weekly. And if you are on blue, and I'm just showing you how fast you can change this. If you need to switch and see what another plan is, then you can switch back and forth easily. So if you are on blue, it's going to be 23 is the minimum, and then 35. It made 35 for my weekly. Okay, so that's for weight loss and healthy habits. But if I switch it to just healthy habits, which basically is maintenance, then it has added on blue, it added 5 points per day. So it added 5 to my daily points. Let's see what it does on the others. On green, I already know the answer, but we're going to do the math just to show. This is green. It is going to add 6 to my daily, and then purple, which is actually where I'm at. So on purple, and this is what I'm going to be doing as soon as Bo arrives, just for about a week or two, just because I know, even if everything's great, it's still going to be a little bit crazy. So it added 4. So on purple, it added 4 to my daily target. Okay, so again, you can do this for a number of reasons. So you might just need a break. Life might just be insane, and you just need to, just remain calm. And yes, Leslie's exactly right. The weeklies will depend on your age, your height, your weight, and your gender. This was for me. So I'm 54, I'm 5'5", my current weight is, and my gender is female. But she is exactly right. It is going to be, it's going to be different based on that. But it automatically adds in some extra points so that you can just go, take a breather, grab some extra points if you need to. You can also, even if you need just an extra break, like, I don't know, depending on what day of the week that Bo is born on and what the situation is, I might not be able to stay on purple, even setting my points a little bit higher. I might need to switch colors. We're going to talk about the differences between blue, green, and purple over hopefully the next 3 weeks, so that you can decide which one of those is right for you. But I'm just saying, intentional maintenance, it's not a bad thing. We use intentional maintenance when we have times like this. When my parents were in and out of the hospital so much, I used intentional maintenance because I couldn't deal with it. Let me get back to you all on Facebook so I can see what you're talking about. But sometimes I needed to, when they were in and out of the hospital so much, I needed to do intentional maintenance a few times, because if I was caring for them, I would have gone crazy if I had tried to stick to my weight loss points instead of just attempting to maintain my weight. Okay, number 5. Well, do y'all have any questions about intentional maintenance? Because we still have 11 minutes. Somehow I have kept us at 11 minutes. I don't know. My time management has been awesome tonight. I think it's because we're not cooking. Sorry about that. Okay, so intentional maintenance. You're going to go on it once you hit goal, and you will eventually get there. Might take 6 months, might take 20 years. I don't know. But you're going to go on intentional maintenance then, or you can go on intentional maintenance if you need a break. Okay, and that's all. Okay, Andrea had no idea. That is why we meet every Sunday night. And Andrea, that makes me so happy. It doesn't make me happy that you didn't know, but it makes me so happy. And Heidi, thank you. So Heidi says this is very helpful. Thank you. This makes me so happy, because these are things that it took me 20 to 25 years to figure out, okay? So it makes me so happy when I know just a little bit of something that can help somebody else. If we had had a way to chat about these things. So for 20 years, Karen and I had Gwen, we had each other, and then once a week we had a handful of other people, and that's it. That's all we had. That's why I love sharing with you all on Sunday nights. I love seeing what you all do. I love getting recipes from other WWers, because we can't figure all this out by ourselves. And I love that we have so many digital ways to keep up with each other. It is so fantastic. So thank you all for letting me know that those were helpful. Okay. So intentional weight loss, intentional maintenance, it's not a bad thing. It can be a good thing. It can be a lifesaver sometimes. Okay. Then the last one, number 5, and again, we're going to talk about blue, green, and purple, 1, 2, and 3. So the only official WW plans, blue, green, and purple, we're going to talk about those over the next 3 weeks as Bo cooperates. So we're going to talk about those. But the last unofficial one that I want to talk about tonight. So 4 and 5 we were talking about tonight. So 5, the 5th WW plan, which is an unofficial one, I call 2 on and 1 off. And thank you, Evie. Yeah, Evie says this is thumbs up, great. So I call it 2 on and 1 off. And y'all have probably heard me blab that, at times. But when you're having moments like these, if we don't know what the schedule is going to be. Friday could have either been go time, but it was no time. We didn't know. We didn't know what was going to happen. Sick parents, schedules and, job changes, sick, I already said sick parents. Let me think of something else. Quarantine, having to be quarantined. We've had more people at work this year, more people in the last couple of months. And thank you, Marianne. Marianne says this is very helpful. Thank you. Or so helpful. Thank you. We've had more people have to quarantine from being exposed this in the last few months than we have all of last year. Talk about a sudden schedule change. And thank you, Liz. Liz says two on, one off is a really good idea. Thank you. We've had crazy schedule changes because you don't know. If somebody's kid, if the school calls and says, "Hey, your children were exposed to COVID. We need your entire family to quarantine until your tests come back." What are you supposed to do with that? You have to quarantine. So talk about a sudden schedule change. But anyway, so 2 on, 1 off for times like that. Or I use 2 on, 1 off when we go on vacation. So when we go to Disney, I try to do 2 on, 2 on plan and 1 off. So by 2 on, 1 off, what I mean is 2 meals on plan, 1 meal off plan. And you know what? You just don't worry about it. So you can count it or not, whatever you want to do. And Kathy says working from home has been good and bad. Yeah, I totally understand. Yep, and thank you, Joanna. So 2 on plan and 1 off plan. Now, I understand there might be meals in between there, but I'm just talking about the basics, the basic 3 meals a day. So try to eat 2 meals a day that are on plan. So on plan means a lot of 0-point foods, lower point foods, real food. So if you're going to do 2 on, 1 off, like I'll probably have to do and be on intentional maintenance, at least for that first few days after Bo is born. Because I don't know if I've mentioned this 150 times, but I'm number 2 on the depth chart for going to the hospital. And I'm super excited about it. So for that first few days, it's probably going to be a 2 on, 1 off situation. But when I say 2 on, I don't mean... Well, I do mean this. I mean 2 meals that are on plan, preferably real food. So by real food, I mean fruits and vegetables, chicken breasts, eggs, real food. So try to eat some lower point, real food, filling food. Don't just eat carrots and grapes for 2 meals, okay? Don't just eat a banana for breakfast and an apple for lunch. Try to still fill yourself up. And it doesn't have to be 0-point foods. I mean, it could be like one of my favorite meals, one of my favorite on-plan meals, even, when we're on vacation, is string cheese and an apple. The string cheese fills me up. The apple makes me happy, and it's crunchy, and it's easy to, transport. So when you do the 2 on, 1 off, try to make the 2 meals that are going to be on plan point friendly, so lower points, and things that are going to fill you up. So again, not just carrots or grapes or something like that. Try to make it some combo things that are going to fill you up. And protein's extremely important when you're trying to fill up those other 2 meals before you do the 1 off. Then the 1 off, don't go crazy. So when I say 1 off, I don't mean go to the buffet and eat until you pass out. Because I've been there and I've done that, okay? There is nothing more upsetting than eating 2 meals on plan and then getting to the 3rd meal and eating like you're never going to get to eat again, okay? That's not what I mean. Enjoy the food, take your time, maybe eat a little more than you would, but don't take this as an opportunity to make yourself sick. So I've done weight loss plans over the years where, one of them was called Physicians Weight Loss, and that was like in the 1980s, I think. And it was basically like a super strict boot camp, concentration camp, really, version, I think, of keto. I really think that it was, but they were so strict that, I did not vary. I did not stray from this thing for 5 days a week, 6 days a week. And then on the 5th day of the week, so on Friday, when it was time for them to check my ketosis, after that, I went crazy. So don't be so strict with your 2 on that you go crazy at your 1 off. Okay, so real food, protein, pack it with some vegetables. So hashtag bulk it up. And I need to bring my hashtag bulk it up sign here because that's still at home. But hashtag bulk it up. So 2 meals on plan. Don't make it things that are going to make you miserable. Don't make it things that you're going to hate. Again, string cheese and an apple is a perfect 1 on the plan. Lots of veggies and a little bit of light chicken salad. Who was it that had a good chicken salad recipe the other day? Pound Dropper, maybe? Don't remember. It was either Pound Dropper or Skinny Taste. Does anybody remember? It was on, I saw it on Instagram. Or some roasted vegetables. It's getting ready to be cooler outside. Like, we're going to have temperatures in the 70s this week. I know that's not cooler, but it's cooler for us. Temperatures in the 70s this week. 0 Point taco soup. I mean, how exciting would that be to have 2 on and one of them be 0 Point taco soup or some cabbage soup or something like that. Some roasted vegetables to fill you up with a little bit of protein, and then you're 1 off. Okay, so numbers 4 and 5. Number 4 is intentional maintenance. Again, not an official WW thing, but it kind of is, because when you hit goal, they're going to put you on intentional maintenance. So intentional maintenance is when you set your points up a little bit, and you're just trying to maintain. So you're trying to get that roller coaster evened out like this. You're trying to keep from going woo, 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 like that. So intentional maintenance is just to kind of do this. So, and it's okay if you put yourself on intentional maintenance. It's okay if you gain a little, lose a little, stay the same, stay the same, stay the same, lose a little, gain a little. That's okay. Intentional maintenance is a little tiny, a little tiny river like this. It's not even a river. It's a little paddling brook, whatever. Okay. Or 2 on, 1 off, and 2 on, 1 off is 2 meals on plan, 1 meal off of plan. But again, don't go crazy. That's a whole nother chat. The going crazy on the 1 off is a whole nother chat. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, so my time management was so good that we are going to end with just a couple of minutes to spare, and that is a-okay with me, and I know it's a-okay with you. But I hope y'all have some great ideas for your maintenance, for your intentional maintenance. I hope you have some even better ideas for your 2 on, 1 off, because those days are going to come. They're just going to come. They're going to happen. And please don't forget to do your homework, because Casey works really, really hard on those badges, even when she's just about to have a baby. And let me think. Seems like I was going to tell you one more thing. Oh, and over the next 3 weeks, we are going to talk about blue, green, and purple. So don't give up. If you were waiting to find out which plan is right for you, whether it's blue, green, or purple, don't give up, because we are going to talk about that, hopefully, fingers crossed, over the next 3 weeks. So everybody keep Casey in your prayers. They're doing great. Melissa's super excited. She's got her double stroller all put together now, and she has practiced in it. So she is ready for baby sister to be here whenever baby sister is ready to arrive. But if you are watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and let the next video roll over. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. Our numbers are like plummeting, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. But please go ahead and subscribe, and invite some people to subscribe. If they don't have a meeting to go to, they don't have a workshop to go to, or they just need a little extra help, please invite them to subscribe. You can click that button down there, and our Spreadshirt is over here. So I hope y'all have an amazing and wonderful week, and I'll let y'all know how it goes. You all will be like second and third to know after family when anything happens. But y'all have a great and blessed week, and we will see you next time.